Hi my angels, it's Hailey Reese and I hope that you guys are doing absolutely amazing. For today's video, I am really excited to share this with you guys and get all of your different thoughts and opinions because we're going to be diving into the story of a woman who believes that after becoming obsessed with Annabelle, she wound up with an extremely dangerous haunted doll. And she thinks that none of it is a coincidence. It's really quite chilling and I can't wait to hear all of your guys' thoughts and opinions. You guys know that I actually got to meet the real Annabelle doll last year, and since then I've really been interested in hearing people's different stories about Annabelle and different experiences and the different ways that people felt while in her presence, because for me personally, while I knew what Annabelle truly was, I could understand how people could be deceived by her and think that she is an innocent spirit. So, I don't know. Before we get into today's video though, I would just very briefly like to thank today's video sponsor, YouGov. YouGov is one of the easiest ways to earn cash and gift cards for simply giving your opinions. You basically take online surveys and then you earn cash and get rewards, so it's so simple and amazing. So YouGov has polls and surveys about public affairs, politics, brands, and products. As an example, right now they have polls about unemployment, climate change, the upcoming election, and more. Some amazing places that you can get gift cards to are Amazon, Nike, Target, Best Buy, GameStop, and more. You can basically use YouGov to fund your next tattoo, your next dinner, or your next purchase, which is so cool and something that I really love about YouGov. So make sure you guys go ahead and click the link down in my description and start making money with YouGov. And thank you so much to YouGov for sponsoring today's video. But with all of that being said, let's get into this particular story and experience, because as I've said a million times, I'm so interested to hear what you guys think of this experience. It's titled, Annabelle the Doll Did This to Me. Lately, I've seen them everywhere. It seems like it's the new trend. Haunted dolls and the desire to buy one. I get it. The idea of a haunted doll coming into your life is thrilling, exciting, and scary in the best kind of way. I know this because I too once desired a haunted doll, and I too bought one, which would turn out to be one of the biggest mistakes of my life. And that's why I'm here reliving it again, in hopes that if your curiosity is piqued, you remember my story and you look away. It was a few years ago. The movie Annabelle had just come out and I was so excited to see it. My sister, who also happens to be my best friend, and I decided to make it a Friday night date and headed out to the theater. It was really well done and I loved every single moment of it. Leaving the theater, I couldn't stop thinking about how crazy it was that it was based on a real doll. The more I looked into it, the more I realized how much crazier the true story really was. That the real doll is an innocent-looking Raggedy Ann, but yet holds so much power inside of it. To say I became obsessed with Annabelle was an understatement. I watched every single video, rewatched the movie over and over, read the real story over and over. I wanted to meet her so badly. Realizing that it seemed I'd never be able to though, I decided the next best thing would be a haunted doll of my very own. I became obsessed with the idea, which looking back now doesn't make sense to me. Why would learning about a dangerous demonic haunted doll make me want one of my own? I still don't understand. It's like she had power over me. Although I knew how badly I craved a haunted doll to call mine, I felt it had to be the perfect one. And in my obsessions, I found myself talking to entities that could be around me to help me find one that would be right for me, a spirit that needed me. Big, big mistake. I felt like I could feel these entities helping me. It got to a point where I was even dreaming of them. And one night, I was told that they'd found the perfect one. They told me her name was Priscilla, and that I'd know it was her the moment I saw her. In the morning, I went online to look for her. It didn't take long before I saw her. A Victorian-style porcelain doll said to be haunted by a dark spirit. Her name? Priscilla. This was the first time I felt afraid mixed with my excitement since this all began. I suppose a part of me felt like maybe it was all in my head and I wasn't talking to real entities. But yet here she was, just as they told me she would be, Priscilla. I knew I shouldn't have bought the doll. Deep down, I knew better than to. But I did, and she came. When she arrived, I couldn't stop looking at her. She was beautiful to me, and I felt she was perfect for me. I no longer felt the entities around that had helped me find her. I guess maybe their job was done, but I did feel something about Priscilla. For a few weeks she was quiet, but then I'd talk to her every single day. I didn't see it then, but my relationship with her was becoming unhealthy quick. I spent my days alone with her. I wouldn't answer my sister or any of my friends' calls. It became just the two of us, Priscilla and I. It got to a point where I could hear Priscilla talking to me, as crazy as that sounds. She would answer me. She would whisper secrets that I'm too scared to share with you. But my mind got dark, and it filled with unthinkable thoughts. I'm scared to know what I would have done or who I would have become if my sister hadn't stepped in. After crying and pleading and weeks of arguing, my sister finally convinced me it wasn't healthy for me to have this doll any longer. She convinced me that I had to get rid of her. I put up my best fight until I heard Priscilla and realized that she thought my sister was a threat. Because this scared me, eventually I'd get rid of the doll. My sister called me one night and said she felt she was going crazy. She said she couldn't stop having nightmares about the doll we'd gotten rid of. I told her it must be in her head, but I was wrong. I lost my sister in a tragic car accident not long after. I don't believe it was an accident at all. In fact, I know it was Priscilla getting back at me for abandoning her, and her way of getting revenge on my sister for convincing me to do so. That haunted doll was the biggest mistake of my life. I shouldn't have ever toyed with something so much bigger than I could comprehend. I can't believe what my love and obsession for Annabelle did to me, but I pray you hear my warning. I pray you hear my truth, and I pray that you never buy yourself a haunted doll. And that's the end. I don't know about you guys, but this whole entire story just gave me chills, and the reason that I think that it is so, or that it went so dark so fast, was because she was asking unknown entities to give her the doll that's meant for her. She was influenced by these entities, and perhaps she wound up with a demonic doll because that's what they wanted to put into her reality. Something I found really interesting about this particular case is the fact that as soon as she got the doll, she no longer felt those entities around her. It makes me wonder, was it the entity of the doll convincing her to get the doll? And once the doll came, she no longer felt the entities because the entity was in the doll, which was the only thing she felt? Or what was the reasoning behind it? I have so many questions when I think about this, and so many things I'm interested to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? Do you think that Annabelle played a role in it? Or do you think Annabelle was just the trigger for her to get into this haunted doll obsession? One thing that I will say is I do agree there is a bit of a trend right now where people are buying haunted dolls. And while I do believe that not every doll listed as a haunted doll online is necessarily haunted, there could be haunted dolls being sold online. And I just encourage you guys to be really careful when you're messing with the unknown. I guess I really want to know what you guys think of this story. Do you think it's true? What do you think was going on there? Do you think Annabelle played a role? Why do you think she was told about Priscilla ahead of time? Leave all of your thoughts, comments, and theories down below, please, 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 and I'll be responding to as many of them as I can because, as I've said in the past, haunted dolls fascinate me. And with 31 days of Halloween quickly approaching, there's going to be some interesting stuff going on with haunted dolls and different haunted doll cases. So let me know in the comments below, and that is it for today's video. Once again, I just want to thank YouGov for sponsoring today's video. As I said, you guys, click the link down in my description box and start earning cash and gift cards with YouGov. And with that being said, if you are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed, but you do enjoy my videos, I would absolutely love it if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, to do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you.